eBay is a great place for finding used electronics, but unfortunately, they have a ton of bad sellers with very poor feedback. So I bought used LG phones from some of eBay's worst sellers, and in this video, we'll test these phones out and see if the sellers deserve their bad feedback. Now guys, here I have an LG Optimus I paid $20 for, and while the listing is fine except for the fact that there's added games, which is interesting, the seller feedback is awful. Let me show you. The seller has a very common theme of sending stuff that's not as described. This person says all parts of the phone are missing, bad seller. This one says item did not exceed expectations because it was not the item that was pictured or expected. And this one says sent a phone with a dismantled LCD and didn't mention that in their title or descriptions. All right, so here's the phone itself, and it looks pretty good at first glance. It's got some scuffs and scratches in the front, but nothing that's unexpected or out of the ordinary. We have a SKU and a location on the back, which is interesting. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's boot it up and see if it'll work. It keeps booting up, and then watch this. It'll boot up and then turn itself off in just a second. Literally just in this constant boot loop of charging, turning on, and then turning back off. And I never even told it to turn on. It's just doing that on its own. What do I do? Well guys, after like an hour of trying different chargers and letting this thing sit on chargers, it wasn't doing anything. And then finally, it just randomly decided to start charging. So I think we can actually use this thing now. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see what it does. So at first glance, screen looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go straight into like a white screen, see if I see any like discoloration. No, that looks pretty good. Also, this thing said it had extra games. I'm not quite sure what that means. Where are the games? What? All we have is this T-Mobile folder, a Google folder, and then a bunch of just standard stuff here. Why would you say there's added games in the listing and there's just no games? I just don't understand. But in the meantime, we'll check out the Android version. So we're on 5.02, so quite old at this point. We also have a phone number that still shows here. I'll blur that out, but that's kind of funny. Wait, we actually have bars. Hold on, what? I guess there's a SIM card in here if it's showing bars and shows a phone number. Let me pull this back open real quick. Oh, yep, there's our T-Mobile SIM card still in there, which is something. Oh, also, there's a 2 gig SD card. That's random. Let's go ahead and keep exploring though. And what did I just press? Apparently I pressed to update this thing. No, thank you. But anyway, you can see there's 24 kilobytes in photos and videos, which is basically nothing. Oh no, never mind. There is some stuff here. Hold up. We got stuff still loaded on this thing. So this phone is not factory reset at all, which is kind of funny. You got a guy here digging in the backyard. We've got a cat chilling in a box, which is just a classic. Person's building a house, I guess. That's cool. A photo of a tattoo in Texas. That's kind of cool, I guess. Looking around this phone, there's not much else to do here, but let's go ahead and take a little selfie photo here and see what that looks like. I don't know, I thought it would be a little bit better than that, but whatever. All right, this phone is strange from all angles. Let's leave some feedback. This phone is strange. The phone does work, but it took forever to get it to charge and turn on. And also, why does the listing say added games when there are literally no games on this phone? It was funny seeing old photos though. I'm going neutral feedback. Now in this box, I have a couple LG G5 phones I got from eBay from a seller that has a really confusing listing and also very bad feedback. Let me show you. So the listing says parts only in the title, but the condition says used, which those two just, that doesn't match up. And there is so much negative feedback on the seller, but I found one review that kind of encapsulates all of it, so let me just read it to you. Stay away from this seller. Wish I would have looked at their 500 plus negative feedback ratings in the last 6 months alone before purchasing. Sold me a dead hard drive even though it was listed as used, aka working, and then waited as long as they possibly could before eBay had to step in for the refund process. And the seller has this response they send to almost every piece of negative feedback. They say, "We regret this wasn't the experience you were hoping for. We've reached out to you directly to find a resolution that works for you." And the person that left bad feedback actually replied back to that as well and says, "LMAO, look at that automated bot response. I blocked this seller. They cannot contact me or follow up. Now they want to answer customers because it's a bot. LOL." So let's find out what's inside this box. All right, so 2 phones in here and they are packaged pretty well. I'll give them that. And the phones at first glance appear to be in pretty nice condition. We have 2 LG G5s for Verizon. They both have check marks on them, so I guess that means they verified they work. But all right, got the silver phone turning on. Let's go ahead and see if I can get to the main menu. Hopefully it's unlocked and doesn't have a lock code on it. First thing I get is an Amber Alert, which is just great. Let's go ahead and check out this phone and see if there's anything saved on it. Like, oh wait, hold on. You can see the entire bottom of the screen is just very, very yellowed. So that's not great. Didn't show that in the photos. Of course. Yeah, I didn't mention it, but the listing literally says good LCD, and this is exactly the opposite of a good LCD. But let's go ahead and keep scrolling around, see if there's anything else on this phone by default, and see what else this thing can do. So we're on Android 7.0, and the network is an unknown. I'm not quite sure why. That might mean it's unlocked, but I'm not sure. The listing said it was on Sprint, so maybe that's why it says unknown, because Sprint just does not exist anymore. It's part of T-Mobile. But it does look like the phone is factory reset, because there's nothing on here except for a bunch of apps. Let me go ahead and see what kind of default apps we have here. Probably a bunch of bloatware. Wait, hold on. The listing says Sprint, but there's a bunch of Verizon bloatware here. That doesn't add up. Also, we have a bunch of Amazon apps by default, I guess. Let's pop in a SIM card. I have a Verizon SIM card. Let's pop it in and see if it'll work. Oh yeah, and sure enough, we got 4G LTE up there. Let's go ahead and just search on Google and just verify it works. And yep, there it goes. So it is a Verizon phone, not a Sprint phone like it said, or maybe it's unlocked. Come on, man. What? Anyways, let's take a quick photo here to see how this the selfie cam works. Not bad, but it's softened a lot, which is interesting. But all right, let's go ahead and move on to our second phone here and see if that one is any better than this thing. Okay, now booting this one up, it looked like it also has a yellowed screen down there. Hold on. It's got the same exact lock screen and everything. What? This one's yellowed as well. Also, this one even has some additional like imperfections in the screen that you can see there. Like, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's like some just deeper white marks there, and maybe over there as well. Yeah, and for reference, I have both of them pulled up now, and they're both definitely yellowed. They're very similar yellowing at the bottom, but not quite the same. That's really strange. But all right, let's check out the rest of this phone, and sure enough, this one also has Verizon on it, so this is also a Verizon phone, not a Sprint phone, just like the other one that, I mean, why are you lying on the listing? But, otherwise, same thing, Android version 7.0. It's got all the apps in the exact same spots as far as I can tell. I don't know, these two phones are kind of crap. Let's go ahead and leave some feedback though. Not really sure what's going on here. Both phones have yellowing portions of the screen, and they're also both on Verizon, not Sprint, like the listing said, so this is definitely negative feedback. So here I have an LG Dare I paid like 20 bucks for, and the listing makes no sense, and then the feedback is really bad. Let me show you. So the listing here says excellent condition, but the first photo shows about 15 million micro scratches on the screen, so that's pretty questionable. And of course, the feedback is no better. It's got, this one says, it's locked with 4-digit code. I googled how to factory reset it without the code and still won't work. Need to return it. So seller is sending out a phone with a lock code still on it. This one says, the unit smokes and smells like it is going to burst into flames. The cord has burn marks on it. That's not from a phone, but it's from another electronic, and it's never a great sign. And this person says, does not answer messages, took 2 weeks to send package, very unprofessional. So let's go ahead and see what's inside of this box, and hopefully it works. Pulling it out here, yeah, that's definitely that's definitely not excellent condition. The first thing you see is just actually the screen is basically matte now because of how many scratches are on it. That's absurd. The back is fine though. I'm still not sure I'd call it excellent condition, but it's better. And the sides are all beat up as well. Let's go ahead and try to turn it on though and see if it'll turn on. All right guys, finally got this phone charged up enough to turn on, and it's got this pretty cool background. It's got like it's motion graphics with a, I don't know, little stick figure guy. Let's go ahead and see if it unlocks, and yeah, cool, we are unlocked here. And also let's go ahead and check and make sure it doesn't smell like smoking a fire. That one review said, and no, it smells fine. Hold on, what is this? The main menu is like, the icons are everywhere and you can put them wherever you want to, which I guess is kind of cool in theory, but probably get really annoying. Checking out let's go to, I guess, my pictures. Oh, we got stuff. We got some photos of random people. Hold on. What am I looking at? I can barely see what's going on here. We have something that says not made in China. Okay. We have a giant stack of cups. Awesome. We've got a dented car. That's not good. We've got a dude taking a selfie in the mirror. That's just classic like 2008 kind of energy there. Yo, we got some potatoes, or sweet potatoes, I think. It's hard to tell. That's hilarious. Took a photo of Kansas when they scored 69 points. Nice. Wow, okay, and they got some Scrabble pieces here where they just spelled out, what is that, poops, and then other things, other body parts that I probably can't say, so you can guess what they say, what they are, though. That's good stuff. And yo, oh, we got an Xbox 360 here. Yo, that's sick. He's even got the bunny ears, he's got the chat pad. Dude, Modern Warfare 2, yo, my man. And that's about it, but that was sick. That was a blast of the past. Love seeing the 360 photos. We'll see what else is on this phone, though, if I can navigate. Come on. Go back. All right, guys, we got to check out the camera here and see what kind of photos it's taking because holy crap, it looked bad, but let's try. Oh, that actually looks better than I thought it would. But anyways, guys, this phone is working. Let's go ahead and leave our feedback. This phone is pretty jank and it's definitely not in excellent condition, but it's got some gems on it. I like it. Positive feedback. Now here I have an LG Realm that I paid about 18 bucks for, and the listing's pretty normal, but the feedback, yeah, the seller replies to all the feedback, so let's take a look. This person says, warning, very dishonest seller, stay away from him or you'll be sorry. And the seller responds back, thanks for your dishonest feedback. Gave $25 and tried to squeeze more money out of me. Okay, it's a little bit spicy there. This one says, at this time I have not received this merchandise. Please advise, my phone number is, which is just absurd because why would you post your phone number publicly? And here this feedback says, be very, very careful, a nightmare to deal with this seller. And the person replies back, thank you for trying to scam me out of an item. And it like keeps going on and on. There's a lot of that. So let's go ahead and see what's inside of here and hopefully it works. All right, so inside the box, we got our phone here. And I do recall this phone not having a battery, so we'll have to source our own battery, which I think I have one for this phone. Also, the screen is pretty dang scratched up, very scratched up actually. And here on the back side, yeah, he did say this in the listing that the back camera glass is broken, which is very strange, but that was in the listing. All right, guys, got a battery for this phone, and unfortunately, the one I ordered still is not the right size, even though it's supposed to be for this phone. But let's go ahead and see if this will fit. Oh, there we go. Felt a vibration. Yes, it is booting. All right, I gotta hold it right here so it stays in place. But let's go ahead and see if this phone works and what's on it. All right, guys, booted up here. We do have the battery still kind of in place, but it keeps trying to turn off. So let's go ahead and do this quickly and see if it works. And yeah, touchscreen works. Let's go ahead and try out the camera because, Yeah, for obvious reasons. Yeah, it's not great. Let me show you here. Yeah, you can kind of see there the photo is just not quite right. There's some like light bleed around the edges. It just doesn't look quite right. Let's try a selfie photo next. And yeah, that right there is a good bit better. I also noticed there's a random corrupted file or photo under the photo gallery. I'm not sure what that's from. That's the only other thing there, I think. Oh, actually, no, there's a screenshot here of the setup wizard. What? Okay, that's random. But yeah, other than that, it looks like it was factory reset, and the phone is working fine as long as I hold the battery in place. It's getting a bit hot, so it's probably not the right battery. So let's go ahead and remove that, and I guess leave a review here. No complaints here. It matches the description. Positive feedback. Now here I have an LG Tribute I paid about 20 bucks for, and the listing's pretty normal except for the fact that it has a cracked screen in the photos. But the feedback, man, I just gotta show you. Now there's a lot of bad stuff, but these are my 3 favorites. We have, this item was garbage. We have, you are so bad. And last but not least, you are the worst seller I have ever seen before. You always sell the deficit items. Great stuff, but let's see what's inside. All right, first thing I gotta say is they utilize the free packaging from USPS inside of the actual package, which is, I don't like when people do that because they're just taking advantage of the system and making it more expensive for the rest of us. But here's the phone itself, and yeah, the listing showed the cracked screen, so I expected that. Unfortunate. It did say it works fine. Other than that, I'm not quite sure how it can work fine when you've got to like rub your finger over cracked glass. But let's go ahead and see if it turns on. Okay, it's turning on, and wow, we have a Virgin mobile phone. I have not seen one of those in a really long time. Start exploring and start with, ooh, ow, I kind of rubbed my finger on some glass, which is not surprising, but yeah, it happened. But yeah, anyway, I see some apps here. We got Flashlight, we've got Google Apps, we got all the standard stuff here. Now we'll start on the About Phone page, and in case you didn't know, this phone came out in, I think, 2014, and the phone's name, we actually got a phone name here, it's DLTB's Tribute. It's still got a phone number here, so there must be a SIM card inside, and we are on Android 4.4.2, which makes sense. And then in the notification bar, we have this Bluetooth share sent files, 24 successful. What? I guess it's kind of like an airdrop kind of thing, I guess, for Androids. Let's go ahead and explore, see if there's anything left on this phone. Okay, wow, apparently to use Google Photos, you gotta update it. Is there another photo app here? Yeah, we got gallery. And yep, sure enough, there's just some random stuff left here. We got IMG purchase. What? Just like random icon photos. What is that? And on the camera, we have photos of tomatoes. Wow, okay. Tomatoes, whatever that is. What is this? It looks like the person took a photo of a TV of a person who's got like some clothes on just sitting in the corner. What is that? I don't understand. Wait, hold on, they're on Zoom. Yo, okay, we're gonna have to blur out a bunch of this stuff, but like if you really zoom in, you can see like the I think that's the Zoom icon bar down at the bottom, and then I guess this person, maybe it's a dude's phone and he's like zooming with his wife. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. But guys, let's go ahead and take a little selfie photo here and see what this camera can do. Battery too low for camera. All right, great. Well, I think we've seen enough of this phone. Let's leave our feedback. The phone works fine, other than the cracked screen, but that was in the listing. I will say though, there were some pretty sus photos on this thing, but overall, not bad. Positive feedback. And guys, here I have an LG 800G that I paid about 15 bucks for, and the listing's pretty normal except for the fact that it says it might have water damage, which apparently does not affect anything, but the feedback on the seller, it's rough. Let me show you. Got the classic here, phone doesn't work, sent a faulty item. This one says, I bought this phone trusting the seller. The phone needs a password I cannot unlock to activate. After several messages to the seller, I get no response. Which is pretty bad. You don't want your phone to be locked when you buy it. And then this one right here, this one takes the cake. We got, please think about deleting photos that you wouldn't want your mother seeing. So you can only guess what kind of photos were on this that used phone. So let's see if there's anything interesting on this phone here. Wow, that's some nice protection for the screen there. I guess it's because it came in a little bubble mailer, so they needed to include this, but still kind of cool. And yeah, here's the phone. It's in fine condition. I mean, it's actually, that's pretty bad. The screen is scratched to oblivion. The back is pretty beat up as well. Let's go ahead and check out the battery here. All right, so on the back here, let's go ahead and take the battery off, and somewhere under here, there should be apparently indication of water damage. I had to pry the battery up with a screwdriver there, and we have a SIM card in here. Yo, wait, hold on. This is the oldest SIM card I've ever seen. It just says SIM card on it. There's no indication of what carrier it is. That's hilarious. But yeah, other than that, I'm not seeing the indication of water damage anywhere. Like usually there's a little sticker that turns a different color when it's got water damage, but I don't see that. So maybe this phone had the incorrect description, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and try to turn it on and see if it works. Okay, phone's booted up, and it wants me to do a touchpad calibration. Oh, okay. Okay, well that's not good. The corner of the touchscreen doesn't work. Bro, this touchscreen is horrible. I can't touch anything. Okay, well I finally got past that, and I guess it's maybe working now. Let's go ahead and see if the touchscreen actually works. Okay, it works when I press the corner there. It works there. Okay, so I guess it's fine now. That was kind of weird. It's got some cool icons and text here. Let's start with the games and apps and see if there's anything downloaded here. We got Buy Games, Containers Block, and Castle Defense. Let's try out Containers Block here. Yeah, and sure enough, there it is. We got free mode. Will it click? Yeah, it goes. Okay, I don't actually want to play this. Let's go back to main menu, explore some more. And I should point out that this phone is clearly not on Android, which makes sense. It's a pretty old phone. But we'll try out some other stuff here. We got gallery, nothing there, no files. Let's go ahead and try to take a photo on this thing and see what it looks like. Can't be very good. Honestly, it's bad, but it's better than I thought it would be. Oh, and also we have 49,000 minutes left on this phone. Is that right, or is that a glitch? And it says due date 2012. I don't know what it means by due date, but that's interesting. Also, earlier I saw there were bars up here. I don't see them anymore. I don't know how it would detect any bars because it's clearly like a 2G or 3G phone, and those don't exist in the US anymore as far as I'm aware. But otherwise, it works fine. I'm really not sure what you would do with a phone like this these days because like there's no Wi-Fi. Like I don't know, unless you're just like collecting old phones. But guys, let's leave some feedback. This phone was perfectly fine. I'm leaving positive feedback. And guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more 1-star phones, make sure to check out this video where I bought 1-star phones from TikTok because these things, oh man, they're horrible. Just watch the video.